Hello friends, welcome back to Circulatory Pro Trips and Tricks. This is the second part for our roundabout design series. Uh, in the first part, we have learned about when you opt for the roundabout, why the roundabout is effective, and what are the types of roundabout. Also, we have seen one of the parameter of the roundabout called ICD. So today we are going to learn more parameters and will design our 2D layout for the roundabout. So first thing we learned about roundabout, first parameter, which is the ICD. So let's go for one by one. First we learn the ICD, then now the second parameter is important, that is called circulatory carriageway width. Well, circulatory carriageway generally 1 or 1.2 times your entry width. So suppose your entry width is 3.5 meter, so your circulatory can be 3.5 or 1.2 times the 3.5. So circulatory width you can decide based on your size of the roundabout and your type of the vehicle. So if you suppose have a large vehicles with the trailer or truck, you offer the higher radius like 4 meter, so the vehicle can easily move without going on the another lanes. So that you have to decide based on your traffic. I mean the kind of the vehicle going to be on that roundabout, and your site constraints. So here I can opt today, in this example I will opt for the 4 meter. Now I have two lanes all the approaches, so I'm deciding for 2 lane circulatory carriageway. You can also use for the 3 lane to increase your capacity, but that is all depend on your traffic analysis. So here I'm going to use 4 lane because of the large vehicle. So I'm going for the 4 meter width and 2 lanes. The next thing what you require is you can go for the overrun area or the footway. So you can decide your own overrun area is 2 meter or the footway. Like I'm going for the 2 meter, and then whatever the area is left out is your island. So in island you can do anything, your beautification or everything. So here the important parameter is your circulatory carriageway width, which I said 1 or 1.2 times your entry width. Also, like I said, you have to see the vehicle tracking, whether your large vehicle can easily pass through this range. If it is not, then you can also opt for the higher radius. Suppose it is not, it's going, the vehicle is still going to the another lane with the 4 meter width. You can use your higher radius for ICD, and you again run your vehicle tracking and see that the large vehicle is only running in your lane and it's not interacting with the another lane. So that depend on your vehicle tracking. You can either increase your ICD or you can go for the 4.5 meter. So here I decided 4 meter and 4 meter. I already decided my ICD, that's my outer circle, and it's 54 dia. The ICD always measure in diameter. So the ICD diameter is 54 meter and the width is 4 meter for my carriageway width. And next, the next thing what I'm going to do is decide my entry width and entry radius. Well, the entry, first thing we go for the entry radius. So the third parameter is your entry radius, and the fourth one is your entry width. So that we're going to see now. Well, the entry radius generally minimum should be 10 meter and the maximum it can go for the 100 meter. So you have to decide your entry radius based on your site constraints, also based on your roundabout, and also there are many checks which govern your entry radius, which we're going to learn in the as we move ahead with our design. So it will be basically trial and error, or you can decide based on your judgment which going to be suit. So if you're designing so many roundabout, you will get based on your judgment what kind of radius will suit this design. But ultimately you have to run some checks which prove your roundabout design is safe, and that will decide your entry radius. So for the trial, I'm going for the entry radius of 25 based on my experience. So I'll go for the 25. The parameters say it should be minimum 4 meter, sorry, 10 meter, and the maximum 100. So I can choose whatever between this based on my site constraint. So here I gone for the 25 meter, and it should not be touching anything. The next thing which I have to keep in mind that my entry radius should not overlap to my exit radius of my adjacent approach. So if I go and check my adjacent approach, and I'm going to for the exit I'm going to for 35, and if I connect this and I can see okay, this both are not overlapping. So your you should be careful that your entry radius and your adjacent exit radius should not be overlapping. So you have to decide based on that also. That also you have to keep in mind. And the next we're going to run in the parameter after we decide the entry width. Now, like I said, the entry width should be 1 or 1.2. Sorry, your carriageway, circulatory carriageway width should be 1.2 or 1 times your entry width. So already I decided my circulatory carriageway 4 meter. So either you first decide your entry radius and then go for the circulatory carriageway, or you can do the vice versa. So as my radius is very tight, like 25 meter, for the large vehicle, I have to provide some width so the large vehicle can effectively pass through it without crossing to the another lane. So I'm going for the two lane. I'm opting for 4 meter or 4.5 meter entry width. So here I have a two lane approach and two lane circulatory carriageway. So I'm going for the 4 meter and 4 meter, total 8 meter. You can run down some vehicle tracking, and based on that you can decide your exactly entry radius, because your larger vehicle can pass without touching to each other. So you can go for 4.2, but maximum you go for the 4.5, where there are the parameter like for the entry radius, entry width for the single lane roundabout. I mean this is where you have a single approach and single lane circulatory carriageway. You should be go for the maximum 10 meter. And if you have a 10 meter entry width, and for the two lane roundabout, you should be maximum you can go for the 15 meter. Well, these are also parameter that you can change that change according to your country code. So you should need to check that. So it should be maximum 10 meter width, or sorry, 10 meter for single lane and maximum 50 meter for the two lane. So here I have two lanes, so I can go for like 4 meter, or I can go 4.5, 4.5. So I'll be going to 4 meter. So this for two lane, I'll go for 4 meter and the 4 meter. Now here you can see that the line, the arc which I've drawn is not tangential to my central island. So it should need to be tangent to your central island and should be tangent to your circle radius. So how we are going to do that? And it should be the 8 meter. I mean whatever you choose to. So there are the parameter which you can use the AutoCAD commands. It's first you go for the tangent, tangent, tangent. So you select tangent. It should be tangent to this circle. It should be tangent to my uh, central reserve, and it should be intersecting to my 8.5 8 meter width or whatever I decided. Sorry, I have deleted it. So I'll again go for 4 meter and then again choose for tangent, tangent, tangent. Select this, and click Control Shift and right click and choose the intersection point, which is this, and this is done. So now I have given exactly 8 meter width, and this arc is tangential to both of my like circulatory, and so vehicle can uh, safely channelize through it. And then I just delete this arc and delete. So this is how I can exactly decide my entry width, and entry width always measure from this intersecting point, like your island point, to exactly perpendicular to your entry radius. So if I go to perpendicular, it should be 8 meter. So many times it happen that your vehicle tracking is not sufficient for your entry width, and you should like decide 8.2, 8.35. So what you can do other things is that you just select tangent, tangent and radius, and you just need to be tangent and you need to be tangent, and it should be like first you just measure, so you will get some rough idea. Like this radius is around 29 meter, so I can go for, if I have to go for round up, so I'll choose tangent, 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 tangent 2, and go for the 30 meter. Now the key is here that you should get your minimum entry width, like your vehicle tracking should suffice. Also it should be very flat. So if I go for more, like I go for 25, so I can get more width. So it's basically depend on your vehicle tracking, that how much width and how you design this. So suppose I go for whatever I design it first. So there are the two method, directly go for tangent, tangent, and you guys just check whether you get minimum yours survive 8.8 meter. But you need to be sure that you don't give too much width. Otherwise, there are the possibility that the three vehicles decide to go together. So you should be careful for the vehicle tracking. You should go to vehicle tracking and you decide based on that your entry width sometime, or you can go simply for 4 meter as per your circulatory carriageway width. So that I decided. Now the next parameter is to check whether these things are sufficient or not. So right now I'll just delete it. Now I'm going to check the way whether this radius of entry width which I taken when I designed this entry radius or entry width and circulatory whether they are safe or not. I mean the checks meet to the design or not. So there are the three checks which we're going to learn in our next video. So yep, please follow our channel for the more video updates. Thank you.